Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we've got this fascinating stack of sources all about Norway. Itineraries, guides, the works, and they really lay out this core dilemma for anyone planning a trip. It boils down to winter magic versus summer freedom. Chasing northern lights in snow in winter, or hitting those epic scenic roads when the midnight sun is out in summer. So our mission is clear. Synthesize these options and figure out, how do you really get the most out of a Norway trip? What does maximum experience even mean here?
It's a great question, and it's kind of a paradox, isn't it? The sources kick off with something that might surprise you. Norway isn't necessarily the deep freeze people imagine, especially down south. You've got the Gulf Stream working its magic, keeping the coast relatively mild temperature-wise.
Right, so it's not uniformly Arctic.
Exactly. But, and this is the key thing, the experience changes dramatically with the seasons. You're basically looking at two totally different kinds of trips. If you're set on that classic winter wonderland vibe, the sources strongly suggest aiming for February or March.
Oh, interesting. Why not? Like deep December.
Well, you still get plenty of snow, and your chances for the northern lights are good. But crucially, the days are getting noticeably longer compared to December.
That makes a huge difference, right? I saw a note here. Bergen sunset is like 3:30 p.m. late December, but by late Feb, it's closer to 6 p.m.
Precisely. That's hours more daylight for activities, for sightseeing.
And what about the polar night, the whole sun never rises thing?
Yeah, the sources clarify that. That's really only a thing way up north, like Tromsø, and mostly just around the winter solstice in December. It's not the reality for the whole country all winter.
Gotcha. Okay, so winter is Feb-March for the sweet spot, and summer.
Summer's prime time is June through September. That's when you get the midnight sun, the hiking trails are open, mountain passes are clear. It's road trip season.
Okay, and this feels like the major fork in the road based on the sources. How you travel changes completely.
Absolutely. For winter, the advice is overwhelmingly use public transport and organize tours.
They're pretty firm on avoiding driving, aren't they?
Extremely firm, unless you have serious specialized experience driving on compacted snow and ice. They basically say, don't even think about renting a car.
Wow, okay. That's a strong warning.
But then, flip side, summer. A car is described as, well, essential, absolutely necessary to reach those really dramatic, remote natural wonders.
The kind of places far from cities or train lines.
Exactly. The big scenic routes, the best viewpoints. You need wheels.
So there's a trade-off there, is there? If the best scenery needs a car in summer, is the winter public transport trip missing out on something core? Or is it just the safer, more manageable option?
That's precisely the dilemma. Winter maximizes safety, organization, and that specific Arctic magic. But you trade some accessibility, summer gives you that freedom, but, even driving then isn't exactly speeding down a highway.
Right, the sources mentioned speeds are quite slow, like 70 kilometers an hour max.
Yeah, the terrain is challenging, roads are often narrow and winding, and you also have to watch out for sheep?
Sheep? Seriously?
Apparently, yeah. Lots of them just sort of hang out on the roads.
Yeah.
So patience is key for summer driving, too. You need time.
Okay, let's zoom in on that winter magic then, up above the Arctic Circle. Tromsø, Alta. This seems to be the heartland.
Definitely. Norway is consistently rated one of the absolute best places to see the aurora borealis. Tromsø, Senja, Alta, up in Finnmark. Basically, September through April is the window.
But it's not guaranteed, right? You need luck, but also strategy.
Strategy is huge. The sources stress being mobile. Clouds are the enemy.
Ah, so that's why the guided chase tours are so popular.
Exactly. They use weather tools, like Ventusky apparently, which predicts cloud cover locally. They can drive for hours to find a clear patch.
Okay, so mobility, escaping light pollution, finding a clear view, makes sense.
And Tromsø is kind of the hub for all the Arctic activities. Dog sledding's a big one.
Yeah, I like the detail that these dogs aren't just pets, they're athletes who genuinely love to run.
Totally. But it's not just sitting in a sled. The sources give a bit of a heads up here. If you choose to drive your own sled team, which is an option, be prepared for a serious workout. You'll be running alongside, especially uphill.
Good to know. So maybe pack some energy bars and good boots.
Definitely good boots. And yak tracks or some kind of ice grips are recommended everywhere, even though, interestingly, many sidewalks in Tromsø city center are heated.
Heated sidewalks, wow.
That's clever.
Makes getting around town easier. Plus, you've got the Fylleheisen cable car for city views, the Arctic Cathedral. Tromsø's a cool base.
And then further north, Alta. known specifically for the lights.
Yeah, Alta's got a big reputation for aurora viewing, and it offers a couple of really distinct accommodation experiences.
Okay, what are they?
Well, first, there's the Splurge, the Sorsniva Ice Hotel. It's the world's northernmost, rebuilt every single year with different ice art and themes.
Sleeping on ice?
Hmm.
Sounds cold, but maybe worth it for the novelty.
You sleep on reindeer skins over the ice beds, apparently. But even if you don't stay the night, you can visit the ice bar or eat at their restaurant, which focuses on local ingredients. Okay, that's option 1, the fancy ice hotel. What's option 2?
Option 2 is, well, it's the total opposite. More rustic, more immersive, a Sami homestay.
Staying with the indigenous reindeer herders.
Exactly. Deep out in the tundra in a basic cabin. But the sources are clear. This is proper roughing it.
How rough.
Like a 2-hour snowmobile ride just to get there. No running water. An outhouse. It's basic living.
But incredible insight into Sami culture, I imagine. And the sources mentioned environmental threats, too.
Yeah, it provides a unique perspective on their traditional way of life and the challenges they face, like climate change impacting reindeer grazing. It's a really unique cultural exchange.
And there's wildlife, too, whale watching.
Right, between about October and January, the fjords around Alta and Tromsø are feeding grounds for whales, killer whales, humpbacks. So you can often do whale safari tours then, too.
Okay, so that's the deep Arctic winter. Let's pull back south a bit. What about the itinerary using public transport? The city-hopping, fjord-viewing one starts in Oslo.
Yep, Oslo. It's often called the green capital of Europe.
Because of sustainability efforts.
Massive efforts. They use waste to fuel public transport, cutting emissions. It's quite forward-thinking. Lots to see, too. Akershus Fortress, the National Museum.
And that opera house. The one that looks like a glacier you can walk on.
That's the one. Really cool design. And speaking of water, you have to check out the Oslo plunge idea from the sources.
The what?
Floating saunas right in the harbor, like the KOK ones. You heat up, then jump straight into the icy fjord water.
Whoa. Sounds bracing.
Apparently, it's a huge local trend. And there's a science bit, too. The cold shock supposedly releases happy hormones like serotonin and oxytocin.
Huh. A natural high and a jet lag cure, maybe.
That's the claim. Worth a try, perhaps.
Okay, after Oslo, the non-driving itinerary heavily features the Norway in a nutshell route.
Yes, but it's crucial to understand what that is. It's not a guided tour group.
Right, it's a pre-booked package of tickets.
Exactly. Public transport trains, boats, buses, all timed to connect. You travel independently, just following the schedule.
And the highlights are the scenic train lines.
Definitely. The main Bergen Railway is stunning, but the real star is the Flåm Railway branch line. It's only about 20 kilometers, but the descent is incredibly dramatic.
And the fjord cruise.
That's the other centerpiece. A 2-hour cruise through Aurlandsfjord and Nærøyfjord. Nærøyfjord is UNESCO listed, apparently Europe's narrowest fjord. Just sheer cliffs rising from the water.
Wow. Now, if you do this in winter, there was a specific tip.
Yes, break the journey. Stay overnight in Flåm, the village at the bottom of the railway.
Why is that?
To make sure you do the most scenic parts, the Flåm Railway, the fjord cruise in daylight. Winter days are short, so splitting it guarantees you won't miss the views in the dark.
Smart. And you could even add on things like snowshoeing near Flåm.
Yeah, there are options like guided snowshoe trips to the Stegestein viewpoint for amazing fjord vistas.
And this whole nutshell journey usually ends in Bergen.
Often, yeah. Bergen's Norway's second city. Really charming, very walkable.
Famous for Bergen, right? The old Hanseatic wharf.
That's the iconic spot. Those colorful wooden houses right on the water, a UNESCO site. It's like stepping back in time, exploring the narrow alleyways between them. First built back in the 14th century, rebuilt after fires. Amazing history.
And for views,
Take the funicular railway, the Flebanen at Mount Flien, panoramic views over the city, the fjords, the surrounding mountains. It's a must-do.
a practical tip here was the Bergen card.
Right. If you plan on hitting a few museums or using the funicular, the 24-hour Bergen card can save you money on admissions. Good value. Also, the Mathallen Indoor Fish Market is great for grabbing some fresh seafood, even in winter.
Okay, so that covers the structured public transport winter trip. Now let's swing back to summer and that promise of freedom, the road trip.
Yeah, this is where the car becomes king. As we said, it's pretty much the only way to access those famous super scenic driving routes, the ones totally closed in winter.
Norway actually has official scenic routes.
18 of them. National tourist routes, designed specifically to showcase the landscape.
And the names are epic, like Trollstigen, the Troll Road.
That's one of the most famous. An incredible mountain pass with 11 hairpin bends climbing way up, crossing this huge waterfall. It's engineering meeting raw nature.
Definitely need to stop for photos there, I imagine.
Oh, constantly.
Yeah.
And then there's the Atlantic Ocean Road. That's the one that hops between islands on these low, curving bridges right over the sea. Looks spectacular in photos.
So these roads aren't just about getting from A to B, the experience.
Precisely. Driving in summer also unlocks places like Fjord, another UNESCO gem. You can drive up to viewpoints like Ernestfingen, or even rent a boat or kayak on the fjord itself.
And cities like Ålesund.
Right. Ålesund is reachable, famous for its Art Nouveau architecture after a big fire rebuilt the town, sometimes called the Venice of the North.
And what about the Lofoten Islands?
Yeah.
They look stunning in pictures year-round.
They are. Incredible peaks rising straight from the sea, picturesque fishing villages like Ren, beautiful in winter too, especially for photographers chasing the lights, but public transport there is really limited.
So even if you go in winter, a car is better for Lofoten, but tricky driving.
Exactly. Summer makes exploring Lofoten much, much easier and more comprehensive with a car. You really need one to hop between the islands and villages properly.
Okay, driving logistics, standard license is fine, U.S., Canadian, European.
Yep, your regular license works. Car rental isn't outrageous if you book ahead. Sources mention maybe 30, 40 a day is possible.
But tolls and ferries. There was something specific there.
Yes. Really important heads up. You must register your rental car, or your own car, online in advance for automatic tolling and ferry payments. Services like ePass24 and FerryPay handle this.
So it's all automated, no stopping at booths.
Mostly automated, yeah. Cameras scan your plate. But you need to be registered in the system before you start driving, otherwise you could face fines later.
Yeah, register online first. Okay, before we wrap up, let's hit the practicalities. Clothing and the big one, cost.
Right. The Norwegian philosophy seems to be, there's no bad weather, only bad clothing.
Meaning you need to be prepared, especially in winter.
Absolutely. Good quality layers are key. Warm, waterproof outer shell. Crucially, moisture-wicking base layers merino wool is always recommended, and solid waterproof boots. Though for organized activities like dog sledding, they usually provide heavy-duty outer suits.
Okay, layers sorted. Now, the money talk. The sources don't pull punches here, do they? Norway is expensive.
It really is. Consistently ranks as one of the priciest countries in Europe, if not the world. Expect things to be, say, at least 20% more expensive than many other places.
Give us an example.
Well, a simple beer in a bar or restaurant might easily be 12, 15, even more. A basic meal out, activities, they add up fast. 100 first per person per day for food and activities isn't unrealistic, maybe even conservative depending on your style.
Ouch, that's a significant factor.
It is, but here's the counterpoint the sources make. The best things in Norway, the incredible nature, the hiking, the views, maybe even seeing the northern lights, those are free.
Good point. The landscape itself doesn't charge admission.
Exactly, and simple things like tap water in restaurants, it's always free and excellent quality. So you can save money by embracing the outdoors and maybe hitting up food halls or supermarkets for some meals.
And payment is easy.
Yeah.
Cards everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere, yeah. Credit card is king, you barely need cash. Internal travel is also efficient, good network of domestic flights, decent trains in the south, and this great national journey planner app called On Tour that covers everything.
Okay, so wrapping this up, it feels like we've mapped out two very clear paths for you, the listener. Path 1, maximize the winter magic. An organized trip, relying on public transport and tours, focusing on the Arctic, the lights, the snow activities, less driving stress, more structured wonder.
Path 2, maximize summer freedom. Rent a car, embrace the road trip, explore those incredible scenic routes and remote fjords at your own pace under the midnight sun. More flexibility, more driving.
The choice really depends on what kind of experience you're seeking, control and magic, or freedom and scope.
Exactly. But, stepping back from the itineraries and the costs, there was one final thought in the sources that really resonated. It's about something deeper in the Norwegian culture.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's this concept called allemannsretten, the right of public access. It's actually written into law.
What does it mean, practically?
It means everyone has the right to access and enjoy nature, to walk, ski, camp for a short time, even on unfenced private land, as long as you're respectful and keep a distance like 150 meters from houses or cabins.
Wow. So access to nature isn't just allowed, it's a fundamental right.
Pretty much. This deep cultural connection to the outdoors, this sense of shared space, peace, safety. The sources suggest that this might be the greatest and maybe the cheapest wonder Norway offers, regardless of the season you choose. Something to think about.